welcome to my music channel. I am Todd the Mod. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you are new to my channel, welcome aboard. Good to have you. It's a beautiful Sunday. I usually shoot these on the day before, and I did. Problem is I had some audio difficulties last night, so when I shot the whole video, and when I went to edit it, the sound quality was crap. So I was like, well, I had to go and I'm redoing it now. Just learning how to dial in this mic a bit better. I'm hoping this comes up better. I tested it a few times, and it sounds okay. What I need to do is get my other mixer and run it through there instead of this little. Well, I was running it through a little cheapy mini mixer, but then I was going through one of the boards in my DJ panels, and that's what was causing so much distortion and yada yada yada. You probably don't want to hear about that crap, so we'll just move on. Anyway, what you saw at the beginning of this video was what we're talking about today, and that was the Brass Armadillo Vintage Shop. And in fact, I've been making quite a few trips there throughout 2024. Just most recently did one with my one of my best friends, Jeff, who came in from the UK last weekend, which is why I didn't do a video, because I wanted to spend time with him, obviously. You actually see a picture of him and us shopping at the Brass Armadillo. So Jeffrey, if you're watching, it was so good to have you, and James as well, and missed you guys already. It was a lot of fun. Hope we can do it again soon sometime. So there you go. I've known Jeff since yay high. So went to high school together, recorded music together, had a great, have wonderful memories with Jeff. So it was good to see him. Vintage, malls, and shopping for vinyl records. I have a few thoughts before we dig deep into what I've accumulated. If you're new to shopping for records and you're looking at going to a vintage mall to buy records, it's not a bad thing. I mean, there are some things you have to look out for. Okay, first off is make sure you have like a Discogs app or even an eBay app to kind of research how much these records are going for. Okay, because some of these prices that these people put on the records leave you wondering, why would you charge me $20 when I can get this for $2 at my local record shop? Okay, so beware. Some of these places could have very high price records. Second thing you want to look for is quality. One thing I like about the Brass Armadillo here in Arizona is that when you take records up to the counter, the first thing they ask you is, have you checked the quality of it? Check the quality. And I do it anyway, and you should too. Always check the quality of the records. Some of these vendors too they'll like tape, what do you call it, the plastic cover, so you can't check the quality of the record. Quality. Red flag. If you can't check the quality, check the quality. I either just tear it open anyway, or out of respect, if you don't want to do that, don't buy it. Simple as that. Yeah, and just, have fun doing it, but just go there with the expectations that you're probably not going to find things in great condition, or they're going to be really overpriced. Now, I've gotten lucky with these places. I've actually found a substantial amount of vinyl records, which is why this is probably going to be a 3-part video. Moving on to my first selection here that I got, Dave Edmunds, Repeat When Necessary. Great condition for $4. Actually had a copy of this. I actually found a copy of this for 99 cents at a record store, and I took a chance because it was 99 cents, and there was a reason why it was 99 cents. It was warped, so it now hangs on my wall. This was released in 1979. Reason why I like this one is because it has a great Elvis Costello cover of Girls Talk. Excuse me, I'm having trouble today. And a little tidbit for you. He was the original singer of Queen of Hearts, which was a song made famous by Juice Newton back in 1981. Actually was written by not Dave Edmunds, but a guy named Hank DeVito, not to be confused with Danny DeVito, who was a pedal, oh boy, I'm batting 1,000, the pedal steel guitarist for Emmylou Harris. Anyway, little tidbit there for you. So this next one I did get at Brass Armadillo, but not recently. It was actually maybe over a year ago. The reason why I'm showing you this is because it's in conjunction with something else. So XTC released basically their singles collection from 1977 to 1982. This one's called Waxworks, some singles. Has everything from their debut album, White Music, up until English Settlement. Has a short version of Senses Working Overtime, which is why I got this. But the reason why I'm showing you that is because I recently just got the album that went with it, which is Beeswax, some B-sides, released in 1982. This is all the B-sides from 1977, from 1982. Kind of a self-explanatory album. I think the best B-side here is Punch and Judy, which was a B-side of the Ball and Chain song off the English Settlement album, which again had that Senses Working Overtime song that I love so much. Anyway, which I do. I love that song. They would later release a CD called Rag and Bone Buffet, which would have a lot of these B-sides on there, but happy to have this one back in my collection. And that does complete my XTC collection. I now have it all on vinyl. This next one I actually already have in my collection, but for $2 I couldn't pass it up. And that is a group from Sacramento, California called Bourgeois Tagg. This one was released in 1988. The big hit off of this one was Mutual Surrender, What a Wonderful World. Not a bad album. I haven't heard this in a while. But when I put it on, it's quite delightful. But if you haven't heard that song, Mutual Surrender, look it up. It's actually a pretty cool song. Pretty catchy. Moving onward, so we're not making this a 45-minute length video. There was a band from England, from the UK, called Transvision Vamp. This is a 12-inch of Tell That Girl to Shut Up. The band was formed in 1986. This is actually a cover song, originally done by Holly and the Italians. This was released in 1988. I had the tape of this at one point, actually the full-length album, but sadly it's one of those cassettes that disappeared. But this is a 12-inch version, and whoever bought this took really good care of it. It's hardly played, and they only paid $4.99. Ironically, I paid the same price for it, used. But not $4.99, but $5, I think it was. But it's still in the shrink wrap, and like I said, it's in wonderful condition. So there you go. Lucky find. Next thing is a band called The Tubes. I'm sure you've heard of them. This is called the Completion Backward Principle. It's the biggest hit off this one is, of course, Talk to You Later, released in 1981. I haven't had the chance to listen to this album yet. I do have the other one, another album by them called I forgot what it's called, but it has She's a Beauty, which was another hit from them, which was a pretty good album. So I'm hoping this one is just as good. So we shall find out. I shall play it eventually. We're going to go down under to a band from the 80s that did not do very well in America, but did fairly well in Australia. And that's Flash and the Pan. This is their self-titled album. This was a band that was formed in 1976. This was released in the same year. And it charted number 5 in Australia. It only charted 76 in the United States, so it didn't chart very high here in the States. But Hey St. Peter was a hit for them. It's actually a pretty cool song. I haven't heard this album, so I'm not sure if this is very good or not. If you have heard this album, drop a comment in the comments below. Should I give it a listen or should I not? Is it just a one-hit wonder song and that's it, or is the whole album decent? Anyway, this group is now considered, is considered yacht rock, and that's England Dan and John Ford Coley. You all remember their biggest hit, which was I Really Love to See You Tonight. This one, called Dowdy Ferry Road, has the hit It's Sad to Belong. It was released in 1977, and the thing about their albums is, like, even if it has like one or two hits off of it, the album itself is actually really good. Like every album I have all their albums and a greatest hits album by them, and they're great material on here. It's good songwriting. This one didn't disappoint. I actually listened to it. It's wonderful. I got another one of their albums, which was released the following year in 1977, and that's England Dan and John Ford Coley's Some Things Don't Come Easy, released in 1978. Biggest hit is We'll Never Have to Say Goodbye Again. Another great album, great songwriting. From start to finish, it's a good play. Anyway, the last one I got by them to complete my collection for all their albums was the last album that they ever released in 1978, and that is Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, released in 1979. Biggest hit off this one was Love is the Answer, which I absolutely love that song. and What's Forever For, which was made also famous by a country artist by the name of Michael Martin Murphey. I think that's his name. I think he's the guy that sang Wildfire. Moving onward, we're going to go back to the 80s. My genre. This is by a band I do love. It's called Spandau Ballet, and this is the 12-inch version of Communication, which was off the album True. We've all heard the song True. That album is actually a really good album. The 12-inch remix, not so much. It kind of sucks. But it does have the original version on it, too. I paid $6 for it. I might have overpaid for that one, actually, but it's in really good condition. I was hoping a little bit more for the remix version of it, but it's not that great. We'll move on to the other Spandau Ballet album that I got, and that would be Parade. One of my favorite Spandau Ballet songs is on here, and that would be Round and Round. Check it out if you haven't heard that song. It's a wonderful song. I actually like it better than True. Not to knock True, it's a great song, but it's just so overplayed. But Round and Round is a wonderful song. Also has a song Only When You Leave, which is another hit for them. And this one's in really good condition as well, so I was happy to pick that one up. The next thing I found for $5, the cover is beat to crap, but the record itself is really nice, and that's The Pretenders 2, their sophomore album. As you can see here, someone didn't take very good care of it, or it got stuck to something or whatever. But the vinyl itself is really nice. Great sophomore album. Great follow-up to their debut. Message of Love, I Go to Sleep, Talk of the Town, The Adulteress. So many good songs off this one. Do I like it better than the debut? I like the debut better. I feel like most of their albums, until their later stuff, that made sense, right? I don't know. They always release great stuff. Chrissy Hyde, great songwriter. Next, I have their second album. I wish I had their first album. In fact, when I went shopping with my friend Nigel, they had a copy of their first one, but it was missing one of their big hits off it because it was a different release, so I did not get it. But I got their third album, and that is Duran Duran 7 and the Ragged Tiger, The Reflex, New Moon on Monday, Union of the Snake. Need I say more? I will say after this album is when I started losing interest in Duran Duran. So, moving onward to something that is considered yacht rock as well, although he's more jazz in my eyes. It's Al Jarreau, and this is called Breaking Away. I paid $8 for it. I probably overpaid. Actually, no, I paid half off because there was a sale that day, so I got it for $4. And this has the song "We're in This Love Together," which is a great song by Al Jarreau. I have a lot of his albums. I just love his voice. That certainly is a wonderful song. Have it on cassette, but I always want it on vinyl, and I finally got it for $4. All right, that is part one of my haul from the Brass Armadillo Vintage Mall. There are 2 locations here in Arizona. The one I go to is in, I think, Goodyear or Litchfield or something like that. I don't know. I haven't been in the second one. That'd be interesting to check that one out. But yeah, again, to recap my advice, especially if you are new to vinyl shopping, just check the quality. Check the quality and bring some kind of app on your phone to get so you can find out what it's going for, because you could easily pay a lot more money than you need to on some of these records. So, but they're a lot of fun. I think searching for records is the fun part, right? It's just digging through stuff and trying to find it. So anyway, that is this video for this week. Next week we actually might do part 2 this week. Maybe I'll do 2 videos this week. I know I kind of been saying that and I don't do it, but I'll try my hardest. What is your thoughts on finding vinyl at vintage malls? Let me know your comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Would love to have you aboard. And thank you for watching. As usual, be good to each other. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.